Hi, thank you for watching us here at Tax Talk UK. We've been asked, when is the best time to complete my self-assessment tax return? So we're just going to have a quick look at that. Before we do, please could I ask if you could take a moment to subscribe to our channel. That way you will be able to refer back easily to the information should you require, as well as finding the other information we have on a whole wide range of topics that you will need to know about if you're working for yourself, running a small business. And if you want to be notified when we upload new content, then you'll need to turn on the notifications to get that. So when is the best time to complete your self-assessment tax return? There's not an actual correct or right or wrong answer to this. Some of it will depend on how complex your affairs are. Some of it will depend on you as an individual and in what way you work best. So if we think about the window of opportunity to submit your tax return, so the tax year, ends on the 5th of April. That is the last day of the tax return. So the first day that you can submit or even to start to work on your tax return for the tax year that's just ended is on the 6th of April. Now, the deadline is the following January the 31st. So you do have quite a long window of almost 9 months where you can submit your tax return. And what I would always suggest is that you try and do it as early as possible, because as well as the deadline for the submission of your self-assessment tax return being the 31st of January, that is also the deadline for you paying your liability. So it may be that you've already got an idea of your liability, but as soon as you've submitted or completed your tax return, you will know what your liability is. So if you don't know how much your liability is, you leave it until January, you're then putting yourself under a lot of pressure. And if the tax is more than you anticipate and it's going to be difficult for you, then you've got no time to sort of to save for that or to sort of do anything about it. So earlier in that respect is definitely better. You can, of course, do your tax return too early. You will need to basically have everything to hand for all of your income from all sources. Even if you say, for example, if you're a private landlord, so you've got landlord rental income to declare on a tax return, and that's the reason that you need to do a tax return, but you're also an employee and you're paid through the PAYE scheme. Even though that income through your employment has been taxed at source, it still needs to be included and entered and declared on your self-assessment tax return. So therefore you will need to wait until you have your P60 from your employer. So you don't want to do it so early that you don't have all the information to hand, but you don't want to do it so late that you're putting yourself under pressure. So generally speaking, I always think that May to June is a good time to get your return done and dusted, and then that still gives you a good amount of time, over 6 months, to know what your liability is going to be and plan for it if you need to. So I hope that this helps. Everyone's different, so this is just my thoughts on what you might like to consider when you're thinking, when do I do it. But in short, the tax year ends on the 5th of April, and then from the 6th of April you have till the 31st of January the following year. That is your window. Obviously if you submit it late, then you will be subject to penalties, which we always would like to avoid, of course, by just getting things done on time. Thank you very much for watching, and please do take a moment to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you. Goodbye.